Landmarks by Robert MacFarlane. Read by Roy McMillan.
Green bow-shaped area of moor, grass or moss, formed by the winding of a stream. Kuchan, slender moor stream.
Where lies your landmark, sea mark or soul star? Gerard Manley Hopkins, 1886. Scholars, I plead with you, where are your dictionaries of the wind, the grasses? Norman McCaig, 1983.
Fay, watercourse, running through peat, often dry in summer, the form of which resembles veins.
Chapter 1. The Word Hoard. This is a book about the power of language, strong style, single words, to shape our sense of place. It's a field guide to literature I love, and it's a word hoard of the astonishing lexis for landscape that exists in the compression of islands, rivers, strands, fells, lochs, cities, towns, corries, hedgerows, fields and edgelands uneasily known as the British Isles. The 10 following chapters explore writing so fierce in its focus that it can change the vision of its readers for good, in both senses. Their 9 glossaries gather thousands of words from dozens of languages and dialects for specific aspects of landscape, nature and weather. The writers collected here come from Essex to the Cairngorms, Connemara to Northumbria, and Suffolk to Surbiton. The words collected here come from Unst to the Lizard, from Pembrokeshire to Norfolk, from Norn and Old English, Anglo-Romani, Cornish, Welsh, Irish, Gaelic, the Orcadian, Shetlandic and Doric dialects of Scots, and numerous regional versions of English, through to the last vestiges of living Norman still spoken on the Channel Islands. Landmarks has been years in the making. For as long as I can remember, I've been drawn to the work of writers who use words exactly and exactingly when describing landscape and natural life. The hardest thing of all to see is what is really there, wrote J. A. Baker in The Peregrine, 1967, a book that brilliantly shows how such seeing might occur in language, written as it is in prose that has the quivering intensity of an arrow thudding into a tree. And for over a decade I have been collecting place words as I have found them, gleaned singly from conversations, correspondences, or books, and jotted down in journals or on slips of paper. Now and then I've hit buried treasure in the form of vernacular dictionaries or extraordinary people, troves that have held gleaming handfuls of coinages. The word lists of landmarks have their origin in one such trove, turned up on the moors of the Outer Hebridean island of Lewis in 2007. There, as you'll hear in the next chapter, I was shown a peat glossary, a list of the hundreds of Gaelic terms for the moorland that stretches over much of Lewis's interior. The glossary had been compiled by Hebridean friends of mine through archival research and oral history. Some of the language it recorded was still spoken, but much had fallen into disuse. The remarkable referential exactitude of that glossary, and the poetry of so many of its terms, set my head a-whir with words. Although I knew Gaelic to be richly responsive to the sites in which it was spoken, it was my guess that other tongues in these islands also possessed wealths of words for features of place, words that together constituted a vast, vanished or vanishing language for landscape. It seemed to me then that although we have our compendia of flora, fauna, birds, reptiles and insects, we lack a terra Britannica, as it were, a gathering of terms for the land and its specificities, terms used by fishermen, farmers, sailors, scientists, crofters, mountaineers, soldiers, shepherds, walkers and unrecorded ordinary others, for whom specialized ways of indicating aspects of place have been vital to everyday practice and perception. It seemed, too, that it might be worthwhile assembling some of this fine-grained and fabulously diverse vocabulary and releasing its poetry back into imaginative circulation. The same year I first saw the peat glossary, a new edition of the Oxford Junior Dictionary was published. A sharp-eyed reader noticed that there had been a culling of words concerning nature. Under pressure, Oxford University Press revealed a list of the entries it no longer felt to be relevant to a modern-day childhood. The deletions included acorn, adder.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?